Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Chem Insider. So in today's video we'll be discussing about the last to second chapter topic of class 11's chemical bonding chapter, that is molecular orbital theory. As of now we have discussed about the three theories for explaining the bond formation. One is the VS-EPR theory, valence bond theory, and then Lewis-Koshulin theory for the chemical bonding. Now for the molecular orbital theory, we need to remember certain topics from the atomic orbital theory, that is the valence bond theory also. So in the year 1932, R.S. Mulliken and Pauling, Linus Pauling and R.S. Mulliken, in the year 1932 proposed this molecular orbital theory. So in this particular molecular orbital theory, what they explained was, if you consider for the atomic orbital, they usually form compounds with their atomic orbital overlapping. And they said that those atomic orbitals which are being overlapped might not undergo a complete extent overlapping when compared to the head-on collision or the sideways overlapping concepts. Therefore, R.S. Mulliken and Linus Pauling proposed this theory in the year 1932, explaining certain concepts of atomic orbital theory and taking those atomic orbitals into consideration for drawing the molecular orbital theory. In this particular theory, they proposed 7 postulates which explains the molecular orbital theory and how a molecule with multiple atoms are being formed. If you consider for the atomic orbital theory, there are just molecules which are formed by the 2 atoms being overlapped. But in case of molecular orbital theory, it explains the formation of molecules which involves more than 2 different types of molecules. So now let us consider for the molecular orbital theory postulates. So in the first postulate of molecular orbital theory, they say that if you consider for the atomic orbital, the atoms of electrons will be present in the atomic orbital, right? If you consider for an atom, electrons of that atom will be present in atomic orbital. Similarly, electrons in a molecule will be present in their respective molecular orbital. So that is the first postulate. Similar to atomic orbitals, electrons of molecules will be present in molecular orbitals. Okay, as we consider electrons of atom which are present in atomic orbitals of the valence band theory, molecular orbital theory states that electrons of the molecules will be present in their respective molecular orbitals. Okay. In the second point, he says that when you consider for a molecule being formed, what happens is atomic orbitals with same energy, of same energy overlap to form molecular orbital. Atomic orbitals of same energy overlaps to form molecular orbital. This is quite similar to the valence bond theory where it undergoes a hybridization, but in this case atomic orbitals of same energy overlap to form molecular orbitals. Atomic orbitals leads to the formation of molecular orbitals. And now for the third point, they said that if you consider the atomic orbitals of molecules, the electrons are influenced by just one nucleus, right? If you consider for an electron of hydrogen, that will be influenced by only the hydrogen nucleus. But in case of electrons present in the molecular orbitals, electrons are influenced by more than 2 nuclei, and the more than 2 nuclei depending upon the number of atoms present in that given molecule. If a molecule has more than 2 atoms, then the electron present in the molecular orbital will be influenced by more than 2 nuclei. So the third point, they say that electrons of molecular orbitals are influenced by more than 2 nuclei if more atoms are present. So therefore, what they said was, in order to simplify this particular statement, they say that atomic orbitals are monocentric. Atomic orbitals are monocentric, whereas molecular orbitals are polycentric. Atomic orbitals are monocentric, whereas molecular orbitals are polycentric. So that is the third point, which says that electrons of the molecular orbitals are influenced by more than 2 nuclei. Therefore, those molecular orbitals are said to be polycentric. Okay, so this is about the third point. Next, the fourth point, which says that if two atomic orbitals are being combined, they result in the formation of two molecular orbitals. That means the number of molecular orbitals formed is completely depending upon the number of atomic orbitals which are being combined. If two atomic orbitals are being combined, then they result in the formation of two molecular orbitals, and those molecular orbitals influence in two different types. One is called the bonding molecular orbital and the other is called the anti-bonding molecular orbital. That is, number of molecular orbitals depends upon number of atomic orbitals combining. So, if two atomic orbitals are combining, they lead to the formation of two molecular orbitals. If four atomic orbitals are combining, they lead to the formation of four molecular orbitals. So now, those molecular orbitals are called bonding molecular orbital, and anti-bonding molecular orbital, First one is called the bonding molecular orbital and the second one is called the anti-bonding molecular orbital. Bonding molecular orbital is BMO, anti-bonding is denoted as ABMO. Okay, so that is about the fourth part. Next, in the fifth point, the bonding molecular orbital. If you consider the bonding molecular orbital, they have energy less than the anti-bonding molecular orbital. Therefore, they will be having a greater stability. Okay, bonding molecular orbital, that is BMO, has low energy. Therefore, it is more stable. BMO is having a low energy, therefore it is more stable when compared to ABMO. When compared to anti-bonding molecular orbital. Bonding molecular orbital has slightly less energy when compared to the anti-bonding molecular orbital. Therefore, bonding molecular orbital is more stable when compared to the anti-bonding molecular orbital. Next is the sixth point, which says that if you consider for the electron density probability of atomic orbital, they usually lie on around the nucleus, right? In case of s orbital, it is spherical. In case of p orbital, it is dumbbell shape, which has a nodal point. Similarly, what we observe in case of molecular orbital theory is, in case of atomic orbital theory, electron density was present around one of the nuclei of the atom. If you consider for one atom, electron density of that atom was present surrounding the nuclei. Similarly, in case of molecular orbital, as I said earlier, it is a polycentric nuclei. Therefore, the electron density probability, that is, probability of electron density can be found around a group of nuclei, So instead of present surrounding one nucleus, in case of molecular orbital theory, the probability of finding an electron density will be present around the group of nuclei. So there will be multiple nucleus present. So the electrons will be present around those nucleus, which is nothing but the group of nuclei. And in the seventh point, what they propose is the electrons which are to be filled in the molecular orbital, that is the bonding molecular orbital or anti-bonding molecular orbital, electrons filled according to the normal conception rules of Aufbau principle, Pauli's exclusion principle, and Hund's maximum multiplicity. So all these three which we have followed for the writing the electronic configuration of atoms will be followed in case of electrons filling in case of the molecular orbitals also. Okay, so these are the 7 postulates which are proposed by R.S. Mulliken and Pauling in order to explain the molecular orbital theory. So that is, in the first point they say that as we compare for the electrons present in the atoms which are present in atomic orbitals, electrons of the molecules to be present in molecular orbitals. In the second point, atomic orbitals of almost same energy combine to form molecular orbitals. In the third point, the nucleus electrons will be influenced by the one nucleus in case of atomic orbital, but in case of molecular orbitals, electrons are influenced by more than 2 nuclei, therefore they are called polycentric. Fourth point, if 2 atomic orbitals are combining, then they will be resulting in the formation of 2 molecular orbital. Those are called the bonding molecular orbital, anti-bonding molecular orbital. And if you consider the fifth point, where you observe that electrons present around the nucleus, in the fifth point what we observe is, when you consider for the bonding molecular orbital, they have less energy when compared to the anti-bonding molecular orbital, therefore they are more stable. Sixth point says that the probability of electron in a given molecular orbital lies around a group of nuclei instead of just one nucleus, as in case observed in atomic orbitals. And in the seventh point, the filling up of electrons in the molecular orbitals follows the rules of Aufbau principle, Pauli's exclusion principle, and Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Okay, so this is about the molecular orbital theory. So now, how does atomic orbital get combined to form molecular orbital? That is, formation of molecular orbitals. For the formation of molecular orbital, if you consider the wave equation of Schrödinger, what we say that the Schrödinger wave equation has solutions for the explaining the atomic orbitals being combined or overlapping, right? But that particular case is only useful for those atoms which involves 2 particular atoms of same molecule. But in case of heteronuclear atoms or multiple atomic molecules, what we observe is that particular condition for explaining the molecular orbital theory is not quite successful. Therefore, for explaining the molecular orbital formation, they come across a new concept called linear combination of atomic orbital. Linear combination of atomic orbitals called LCAO. So in order to explain the molecular orbital formation, we come across a new concept of explaining this formation of atomic molecular orbital, that is called linear combination of atomic orbitals. Okay, for this let us consider an example of homonuclear dihydrogen molecule. Okay, if you consider the homonuclear dihydrogen molecule, that is H2, let us say it has 2 atoms of that is having 2 atoms of hydrogen. Let those 2 atoms be HA, HB. Okay, let the 2 atoms be HA and HB. If their atomic orbitals are given by the symbol psi A and psi B, if their atomic orbitals is psi A and psi B, then the molecular orbital formed by the combining of psi A and psi B will be two. That is, one bonding molecular orbital, one anti-bonding molecular orbital, which can be denoted as psi MO. Those are psi BMO and psi ABMO. Okay, psi BMO and psi ABMO, which can also be written as psi MO and psi star MO. Psi star indicates that is an anti-bonding molecular orbital. So now the formation of molecular orbitals of bonding and the anti-bonding depends upon these two, how they are reacting with one another. Okay. So for example, if you consider HA, it has one electron in the 1s orbital and HB has one electron in its 1s orbital. Okay. HA has one electron in its 1s orbital. HB will also have one electron in its 1s orbital. Now if you draw the molecular orbital diagram for this HA and HB, which is just because of if both these two have same energy and they form a constructive interference. So constructive interference is nothing but if they are going to add up with one another and if they are going to subtract it with one another. That is, for a psi MO to be formed, for a psi MO, that is the molecular orbital to be formed, it undergoes two type of combining, an additional combining or a differential combining. That is, it may result in psi A plus psi B, which is nothing but psi BMO. Okay, if psi A gets subtracted by psi B, then it will be psi ABMO. Okay, so if both the atomic orbitals get combined constructively, positive means nothing but the constructively, okay, 1 plus 1 constructions, so it forms a BMO. If the one is demolished by the other, there is another destructive, that is psi A minus psi B gives us the anti-bonding molecular orbital. So therefore, if you consider for the atomic orbital and the energy, if you plot the energy of atomic orbital and the molecular orbitals formed, what happens is, so this will be the 1s electron, this will be the 1s electron of HA and this will be the 1s electron of HB. I am just writing this in the reverse order in the opposite sign because it might get easily combined. Okay, so 1s orbital of HA and 1s orbital of HB. So now what happens is, if both these two combine with constructively, they have a slightly lower energy, that is psi BMO. Okay, if it combines in the opposite, psi A minus psi B, they have energy psi ABMO. They have energy called psi ABMO. Okay, so as we have known that each particular molecular orbital theory concepts, the 7th point says that electrons are to be filled according to Aufbau principle, Pauli's exclusion principle, and Hund's law of maximum multiplicity. So first, Aufbau principle says electrons should be filled in the lower orbit first, and once they are paired up, then it only should be get to the higher orbital. So now, if we consider this, though one electron of 1s orbital of HSO and 1s orbital of HB both get paired up in the bonding molecular orbital. Okay, so now the electrons are present in the paired formation in bonding molecular orbital. So these two are the atomic orbital, psi A and psi B. So now, why is this energy of psi A and psi B slightly greater when compared to energy of psi BMO? That is because when you consider bonding molecular orbital, we know there are two nuclei, right? This is of HA, this is of HB. So the electron present in psi A and psi B, that is HA and HB molecule, will be present at the center with a greater influential curve. So therefore, what happens in this case is, both the nuclei of HA and HB will be attracted to one another because of their inter-attraction with the electron. In case of antibonding molecular orbital, electrons are placed away from one another. Like if these are the nuclei, electrons will be placed in this particular position. Therefore, these two nuclei will experience repulsion, whereas here they are experiencing attraction. Hence, the energy of the bonding molecular orbital of molecule is slightly less than that of the atomic orbital energy, and whereas the energy of the anti-bonding molecular orbital will be greater than that of the energy of the atomic orbitals. Therefore, if you take the average of these two, then it will lead to the formation of molecular orbital energy having same energy when compared to atomic orbitals. So this is how combination of molecular orbital takes place. That is, 1s orbital of one molecule combines with the 1s orbital of the other molecule, which leads to the formation of linear combination of atomic orbitals. Okay, so this is how molecules are to be formed in case of molecular orbital theory having multinuclei systems. So I hope you have understood these concepts. We look into this particular ABMO and SIBMO in the next video. And if you have any doubts in this particular explanation, please do comment down below. You can mail those doubts to me, which I have provided in the description box mail ID. And thank you for watching.